Today I'm going to show you guys how I decorated the cake in my first video on how to make a vegan funfetti cake. And if you're new here, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a new video. So let's get started. The very first thing is to make sure you have all your tools in order. I actually have this turntable here that I placed on the counter, and I use that to turn the cake around as I put the icing on, just to make it a lot more smoother. I picked up these reusable cake liners from IKEA a while ago. I'm not sure if they still have them, but they're pretty useful. Whoops, I know that was sliding around quite a bit. Once I had a good handle on that, I put some frosting on there before I laid the first cake down. This ensures that it doesn't slide off. By the way, I'm using the frosting from the recipe in the last video that I did, so make sure you guys check that out. Next, I took the cake out of the pan, but it didn't come out as smoothly as I hoped for, so I used the butter knife and gently ran it over the sides of the cake to pry it free. I left these cakes in the fridge overnight, and I found this makes the cakes more moist when you serve them the next day. The frosting was also left in the fridge for an hour. Don't leave the frosting at room temperature when you decorate a cake, trust me on that one. Your frosting will be too soft and ready to spread on the cake. I slowly peeled off the wax paper, as you can see here, and laid the cake down in the center. And then now you can start frosting what will become your middle layer. If you notice, I'm using this angled spatula to scoop up a dollop of frosting and then smoothing it out. I learned this in an introductory course on cake decorating that I took many years ago. This ensures that you don't pick up any crumbs from the cake. You only want to be spreading frosting, not crumbs, unless you're into that sort of thing. After I have about a ½ inch of frosting in the middle, I'm going to lay down my second layer of cake and then start frosting from the top and then working my way down to the sides and edges as I turn it on the turntable. I'm trying to cover the cake completely now, and I just took a paper towel to clean up any messy edges I had. This initial layer of frosting on a cake is what's called a crumb coat. After I'm done this crumb coat, I'm going to then leave my cake in the fridge for an hour to set. Boom, and just like that, I took my cake out of the fridge and now I'm frosting it with the second layer and smoothing it out as I go. I would suggest getting a tool called an icing smoother or a bendy plastic sheet that you can run over the sides and top of the cake. This spatula is all I have, so I'm working with it. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to fill a disposable piping bag for the swirls we're going to make on the top of the cake. You measure and cut the tip so that it peeks through the bag. Here, I'm using a Wilton 1M icing tip, so it's too big for any couplers that I own, in case you're wondering. It's a good idea to then fold over the edges and place the bag in a glass before you start filling it with icing. Now that I've filled the bag, I'm carefully lifting up the edges and twisting it shut. For the first swirl, you want to start at one side of the cake and then go across and make the next swirl on the other side. Repeat for the third and fourth swirl. I ran out of icing as I was doing this, so I just refilled the bag. I finished off the swirls in the empty spaces, and there you have it. Those are some pretty sweet swirls. Now these are optional, but I also added some sprinkles on top to give it some added color to our all white frosted cake. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please give this video a big thumbs up. I'm so excited to show you guys more content and more videos that are coming up. I'm actually going to start experimenting with things like vlogging, so really excited for that, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video.